Good morning, and welcome to another chaotic version of Diatribes from the Voice of Doom. Now here's your catastrophic and cataclysmic host, Voice of Doom. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs came out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. For they are the spirits of devils, working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and the whole world to gather them to the battle of that great day of God Almighty. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked, and they see his shame. And he gathered them together into a place called, in the Hebrew tongue, Armageddon. And the 7th angel poured out his vial into the air. And there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne, saying, It is done. And there were voices, and thunders, and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake, such as what is not seen since man were upon the earth, so mighty an earthquake, and so great. And the great city was divided into 3 parts, and the cities of the nations fell. And great Babylon came in remembrance before God, to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. And every island fled away, and the mountains were not found. And there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent. And men blasphemed God because of the plague of the hail, for the plague thereof was exceedingly great. So something from Revelation 16. I figured I'd read from the Holy Book today because Armageddon is drawing nigh, and it's about to happen. And I have ample evidence in front of my very eyes to prove it. Now, contrary to yesterday's diatribe, the MSM, mainstream, has actually noticed that something's going on in Israel. They are reporting it round the clock, which is a relief to Petri Dish and his cohorts, because all of a sudden the Hunter Biden business and the weaponization and the Grandma Garland business and everything else is kind of taking a back seat. Even Zelensky in Ukraine are probably going, what about us? Don't forget about us over here. But I'll just do some off-the-cuff commentary. The atrocities are worse than I thought. When I said there were probably atrocities, there were atrocities. Now, what happened was this. There was a breakdown in security and a breakdown in intelligence, which is not surprising since there's very few smart people left on this planet. And you gotta beg the question, if a country such as Israel, which has a very tight security system because they're constantly under siege and constantly under threat of attack, and have to be vigilant just because of what's happening now and because of history. They've just been the scapegoat of the world, so they always have to watch what's happening. And apparently they were asleep at the wheel when this conspiracy of Hamas people infiltrated and planned a massive attack. I mean, massive by their standards. Now, they've likened this attack to Pearl Harbor and 9/11 wrapped into one. Now, per capita, as far as the casualties we've seen so far, it is worse than both those things put together. Okay, so we're looking at a whole new world starting yesterday. And I'm not going to gloat, and I'm not going to say I told you so, because any idiot could look at the world and see that it was going bad, and that we're too complacent and too spoiled to see that it's going to go bad, and then it's going to spread, and it's going to affect the whole world. Now, atrocities. Okay, these Hamas characters went into a concert and just blew everyone away. Now, that would just go by the wayside as just one more terrorist attack in the previous days. But this was real savage. This was Nazi stuff. This was like going around and looking for people who were groaning in pain and shooting them. Just going around making sure everyone's dead that's moving. And people have been kidnapped, and kids have been kidnapped, and old people have been kidnapped and dragged away, and everyone can see it in living color. It's not like the old days in Armenia when Turks could get away with kidnapping people and killing them. Now everybody's seeing it. Everybody's got a camera, and if it's possible to show it, they show it. So people are getting kidnapped. Latest news is that the Israeli forces have secured the areas around Gaza. But yet Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, and other major cities are being bombed. They're bombing their infrastructure. Israel's getting destroyed. And it's barely started yet. Now here's what's bound to happen. After Pearl Harbor, we did not, the next day on a Monday, start bombing the hell out of Japan. It took some time to respond. After 9/11, we did not immediately send B-52s to Afghanistan to bomb the living crap out of them. It took time to plan. Now, the Israelis are, after trying to secure as much as they can, are now going to plan. And they will retaliate in a draconian way, which will make everyone go, it's all Israel's fault that this happened. Because look how many tens of thousands they killed. Now, they're going to retaliate. It's going to be bad. They've already shut off the power and shut off the energy supply to Gaza. Because Israel's been maintaining the infrastructure of Gaza. Because you don't need a whole region of people living like North Korea right next to you, because there's going to be unrest. So they were good enough to keep the power going, but then they shut it off because it's like, why are we doing this to you? Why are we allowing you to have electricity when you bomb us, you kill us, you take our women and children, you kill our soldiers, you kill our civilians indiscriminately, and yet we're supposed to give you electricity. So Gaza's shut down. The West Bank will probably be shut down. Now, Israel will retaliate, and whether it's today, tomorrow, or 3 weeks from now, there will be serious repercussions. And what will the sponsors do? What will Iran do with their $6 billion that they got from Petri dish? Will they send a nuclear bomb over there? Is someone already sneaking one in? Are they going to send troops over there? Are they going to send sorties over there? Is it going to escalate? Are all the nations going to come against Israel just as the Bible prophesied? Is that going to happen? Very possible. Who knows what can happen, but once Israel responds, it's going to be real bad. and lots of people are going to die in Israel and in Gaza and in the West Bank, and it'll probably spill over to Lebanon and Syria. Hezbollah is in Lebanon, and they're part and parcel of the same problem. And I have a feeling that Israel's going to want to just end this whole Hamas-Hezbollah thing once and for all. And they might even attack Hezbollah just because you're part of the problem. It's kind of like the way what used to be the United States attacked Afghanistan. Afghanistan didn't attack the Twin Towers. They were all from Egypt and Saudi Arabia. But we attacked Afghanistan because Afghanistan was giving refuge to Al-Qaeda because they were ruled by the Taliban. It's all obvious. It's all going back to the way it was before. But that is the reason why Israel will say Hezbollah's got to go too. And ISIL and ISIS and Al-Qaeda and ISIS-3 or L or whatever they are in the Taliban, the whole 9 yards. It's like we're tired of this. We've lived in fear for centuries, really, but for decades. And now you're really throwing down the gauntlet. You're taking our kids, you're taking our grandmothers. It's not going to hold. And this world's not going to hold. So I figured I'd get this little addendum in on the recent fracas and prognosticate that everything's going to hell, and by Christmas it's going to be a real holy day. People are going to actually be praying. And I'm looking up in the sky because in previous days of my religious experience I would have been looking for Jesus to come any second now and be going, it's now or never, because we're about to blow ourselves to smithereens. But I haven't seen him. And really, realistically, rationally, it's kind of like, even if Jesus did come back, we'd just crucify him all over again. We'd probably blow him out of the sky if we could. We'd see a bunch of angels coming out of the sky and go, get the nukes going, blow that up. That's just the nature of humanity. So, I didn't say a whole hell of a lot. I just wanted to catch you up on the atrocities, and they're bad. Anybody who's not aware that there's some serious evil going on right now is woefully ignorant. Now, I just want to add one more thing, that people are kind of blaming Petri dish, which I guess that's just one more success story of his administration, is that he gave a bunch of money to Iran, said, well, that's strictly for humanitarian purposes. That's what you'll use it for. So it's obvious that they could say, you know, we'll use the money we have to do what we want because we have this extra money to pay for this. It's like if I'm about to pay my electric bill and then someone says, here's a check for $200, but it's only to be used for your electric bill. I would say, well, the money I already had saved for the electric bill, I can go off to the casino. So there's your analogy there. Petri dish did it again. He's bound and determined to destroy this planet, and he's doing a hell of a good job. You gotta applaud the guy. I mean, his amount of damage is, you know, I mean, I won't use the word awesome, but he's doing a hell of a job destroying us as a population of a orbiting planet. We'll leave it there. It's early in the morning. I didn't say a whole hell of a lot, but this is something to think about. No. Enjoy the rest of this week. I'm going to be looking very closely at the Dow Jones. It should go up about 500 points today, because that's the nature of the investor. It's like, okay, they're destroying each other. That's more money for the military industrials, so let's all invest into the Dow Jones. Brilliant. So I'll leave it there. there's more to talk about. I might even do another diatribe today. Who knows? Anyway, have a good morning and good luck.